Hope you guys are doing good. Nice into the week, the first week of the year. Frustrating day for me. It wasn't, smooth sailing. But I did a few things well that I want to talk about and definitely learned a lot. So that's, all you can ask for. But today was one of those days where I just kind of hesitated. On my entry and missed out on a great trade because of it, and that's unfortunate. I know a lot of factors that are going into why that was the case. There's a lot of stuff that goes into why that might have happened, but we can't really dwell on that since it is Friday. Oh, I have Monday and Tuesday next week, but I leave on Wednesday. But I was going to make an announcement, but that can wait, right? That can wait. But if we look at the charts today, or I guess I'll show you guys, we are down $8, right? I'll kind of explain that, but I locked out my account right after I was down. I could notice myself feeling really frustrated. I could feel a deep sense of, I would say even rage, right? That's a little bit intense, but I felt a very deep frustration with myself, with earlier things in the session that I could have done better, and then kind of forcing some things after the fact. As soon as I had lost, and I'll show you guys where I lost, right? We had an SMT with this high here, and again, this was after missing a trade that I'll show you guys. I'm sure you know which one it is based on how I trade, which one I missed, but I saw this inversions, two fair value gaps, but we had the SMT, we swept this high. I kind of liked it. We had the SMT again, and for some reason, my eyes were just drawn to these Asia lows, these relative equal lows, from the beginning of the morning. I saw these, and I was like, great, we have a target. I want to see this. Realistically, I should have just respected the order flow, which was bullish off rip. We left relative equal highs, and we're gearing towards these highs. And in the bigger time frame, we actually have a more clear market maker model. We have an SMT with this low right here. We completed, let's just go to 4 hour. We completed the sell side of the curve here, right, by taking out this low. Yes, we could have taken out this low too, but we didn't, so I guess we'll leave that for another time. But then after that, we start getting a reversal signature, and we start getting bullish order flow. But something about these Asia lows kind of trapped my mind, really. That's where I think I went wrong today, was letting the Asia lows really control my bias the entire day. It would have helped for a little bit, but I kind of just got stuck on these lows and just was really wanted to see them hit. But I kind of failed to ignore other things here, like this 15-minute gap holding very well. I didn't really ignore these. I just wanted to see that be a remanipulation to then go again, right? So when I saw this SMT, I jumped in short on this candle. But again, I hesitated once again, so I got like a slightly worse fill, like around here. And then when it hit this low, I went break even. I did it with 1 micro, and then I left my stop at where the break even would be on this candle, because I said, look, I just, hesitated. Let me put my stop at break even where it would be break even, and it was right here. Honestly, not really expecting it to hit us. And it came back up and stopped me out for around $8. Right after that, I was, wanted to just quickly make it back, and I just felt like anger. I felt very frustrated, very angry with the market, with my previous mistake, which was this trade over here, right here. This trade was the one I really should have gotten. I really dropped the ball here, and I knew it. I even started a video to record the trade. I even started one when this was forming, but it kind of just fell through quick, and I wanted to take with 2 micros, and I've been risking 35, which would have been fine, and obviously we had no real drawdown, but I kind of hesitated, right? Why did I hesitate? Well, I'm worried about my account balance. I desperately want to pass my account. It's no secret, and it's not a good thing. I understand that, but that is, part of the things psychologically that's, affecting my trading. If this was on paper and I saw the setup, I would have jumped in right away, because who cares about how big your stop loss is? Who cares about losing on paper, right? I would have taken this setup a million times out of a million. I know it because that's a good setup. We had an SMT at the high. at 10 a.m. open. We manipulate the 9 a.m. candle with 10 a.m. open. No displacement higher. We close very bearish after taking out the data wick. And then we inverse this gap, right? And we had these lows, 930 low. Here we had all of these lows ready to be taken. So I said, man, this was a great entry. I started my recording and I just waited half a second. I should have just jumped in right there, stop above this high, 42 points, targeting this low, 68 points, and then this low, 100 points. And that should have been it, man. That should have been it. Maybe I would have got caught holding some runners to Asia low and got stopped out, but I would like to say that I would target this 100 points. But because of my hesitation, which again, why would I have the hesitation? What caused hesitation? It was from, not wanting to lose. So I was like, you start second guessing things. You start saying, is this really a great setup? Is there something I'm missing here? Like all these things go through your head. Like, oh my gosh, what if it just rips straight back up? Instead of just trading what you see, right? If you look at today's price and you look at today's chart, this just jumps out and it's so obvious. It's ridiculously obvious for what I trade, right? Maybe you don't trade that way. Not maybe for everyone's system, but for how I look at the market, for how I trade, this is a setup that just screams out at me. And I had a lot of stuff supporting it, right? We had this untapped 15-minute gap here. We had the 930 low. And we had the Asia lows that I thought we were going to, which we aren't, which this I'll kind of go over why I should have stopped expecting lower and then expected higher. But I think the one thing that threw me off was the fact that we didn't have a very clean liquidity sweep over from a higher time frame high, right? On the 15-minute here, we didn't have a nice sweep here. And I know that when this typically happens, when we don't take this high right here, we're typically going to revisit it, which we did. But in the moment when I saw the short playing out, I was hesitant then because I noticed that, right? I was like, oh, we just got really close. I kind of expected to take that, but this setup came. So I hesitate. By the time I was ready to enter the trade, it had already ripped like all the way down to here or like halfway. And I was like, okay, now I really can't because my fill would have been like here, right? My fill would have been down here and I've been risking 58 points. So you'd be risking like $200 and it still would have worked. But I didn't. Then you really can't chase. You can't jump or not jump the gun. It's the opposite of jump the gun. You just cannot chase your entries. I've learned that so many times. You just can't chase your entries. If you hesitate and it stays around your entry and it comes maybe a little bit up, fine. I was honestly waiting for a tap of this gap, this fair value gap, to go short after I missed it, and it just never presented itself. And that should be fine, right? That should be fine. Let me go through a few reasons why in my head, in the moment, I wasn't able to see it as just, okay, cool, we missed it, move on. What was going through my head? My account rebuilds on the 8th of January. That's 2 more trading days and today, right? So we would have 3 days. So what does that mean? I'm going to have to pay another $50 for this account. Is that the end of the world? No. Do I want to? No, right? I want to pass this account, right? I want to pass this account before then, obviously, but I don't want to force anything. So when this trade setup happened and I missed it because I hesitated, all I'm thinking about is how I just missed out on $200, $300, whatever it could have been. All I'm telling myself is, man, I just missed that much money. I could have got that. I could have got this. We could have been this close. We could have passed our account maybe next week before the rebuild. So now I can't just say, oh, we missed the trade. Cool. Let's see what the market gives us. I have to think, okay, oh my gosh, I just missed this trade. That was like $300, and then I could have been 100 or 200 away from passing my account, and then I could have, not had to pay the rebuild. Also, I missed a big trade, right? And I'm trying to pass my account. So I take it more personal. I think, oh my gosh, I just missed out on this move. I could have made X amount of money. So instead of just saying, hey, we missed it, right? We were hesitant. Let's figure out why. I know why I was hesitant. And now it's just this frustration of how could I have that happen, right? If I saw it, if it's so clear, why didn't I just take it? And that's where the frustration happens. Man. It gets really, really tough to look at it and be like, man, it's just a learning opportunity because it's, you feel like you lost, right? When you miss out on a trade and it works really, really well, it's like you almost feel like you lost because you just couldn't be brave enough to push the button. And again, if we look at today's opportunities, this was just you know, you look through here, nothing, nothing, nothing through here, absolutely nothing through here, right? Just nothing before news. Okay, news comes out, SMT inversion, boom. That's the only setup that I should have taken today, and it was a great trade, but we didn't get it. After that, it makes you a lot more frustrated. Makes you a lot more. You don't read the market well after when you're thinking with emotions, when you think about making money, when you're thinking about all these things. You don't read the market well. I was still so stuck on these Asia lows, and again, this trade was technically break even, but I lost on it because of the hesitation, bad fill. So I left my stop at the point that should have been break even, and we lost. And after that loss, my instant reaction was, let's make it back. Like, that was dumb, whatever, it's going to go higher, and it did went higher. So if I would have just gone long, we would be up good, but that's not the point, right? The point is, as soon as I lost, I felt even more frustrated. I felt even more frustrated because why? We missed the great trade. We missed the trade that if we would have just clicked the button, the same thing we did here, all we did was just made the decision to click the button, and we got in, and we didn't make any money. The same thing I could have done on this trade here, I could have just clicked the button. And yes, we don't know if it wins when it happens. When the trade sets up, I don't know if it's going to be a winner. But the reality of this trade was that it was a winner, and it would have been a 100-point winner. So the frustration from that, when you have another trade and it doesn't happen, it doesn't work, just builds up even more, because it's like, okay, I just took a small loss, or I just took a small win, or I just took a big loss or big win or whatever. And I could have had this one earlier, and I just took a loss, and I could have been done for the day, right? This would have been me done for the day. Making the review, I would have been making the review over here in price action, not all the way over here. I would have been done. My day would have been done. It would have been a great day. And everything changes based on one decision. One hesitation in the market changes an entire day. Could change an entire account. It could change a lot of things, right? And that's where the frustration happened. That's why I locked my account, which is the one thing I'm happy about today, is that I was able to find it in me to just lock the account, come back another day. Don't worry about passing my account before the 8th. Don't worry about any of those things. I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I was frustrated. I was disappointed. And I had to just call it a day, right? That's going to be the key to just continuously getting better. I mean, eventually, I'm not going to hesitate on this entry. Right, I normally don't. Right, if this was the first day, again, if it was on paper, I wouldn't hesitate as for a second, and not because I can just go I wouldn't hesitate to go put in a short right now on paper either. But it doesn't have any context. But when I see my setup, when I see something that I want to take and what I want to be looking for, and I hesitate, it has nothing to do with skill. It has everything to do with mental. There's something going on in your mental that you have to sort out. For me right now, it's just about being on an account that I value a lot, right? I value the account balance, and I'm just hoping that I can just squeeze it through to the end and get my funded account, which I know isn't going to solve all my problems. I'm going to have the same psychology issues as after I get funded, but in my head, it feels like, okay, great. Once we get funded, we can, take a breath. But it's always going to be a different step. Every step of the journey, you're going to have to just deal with different psychology issues, and that's the reality. But right now, I'm worried about passing my account, not failing my account, whatever, and we missed that. So I should not have hesitated on this trade, but we did, and we had to recognize, what problems can occur after that, which is taking, bad setups, or revenge trading, or jumping into too many setups, or whatever, right? Doing things you shouldn't. So that being said, those are the mistakes I made. That's what was frustrating about today. But if we are going and looking at what we could have looked at here, we could have realized that this was a very, very bullish reaction off this low, right? This was a very bullish wick, very, very bullish wick, 60-point wick. And we should have realized that we were gearing higher, right? We were in a market maker buy model in the higher time frame. We had these highs, and we're actually taking out yesterday's high, which is really, really cool. And then we have these highs as well. We have those highs as well. So what could I have done? I could have recognized that this was a sweep on liquidity of the open low. We have a 5-minute gap that we tapped that was unfilled. We had a 15-minute gap and maybe a 30. No, we do not really have a 30-minute gap. We tapped these order blocks here, but we had a 15-minute gap. We had a very bullish reaction. I should have switched my mind frame especially when we started running through all of these imbalances here and this 5-minute gap, right? We inverse this 5-minute gap right here. We closed back below it, but this was actually the better opportunity of the day, which was right here. This 2-minute inverse ended up being the one, right? We came back down, held it again, and we ended up ripping higher, another 100 points there. So this should have been where I saw this flip in order flow to bullish, but my mind was just stuck on the Asia lows, and I was honestly just stuck on the short that I missed earlier, right? We had this 2-minute gap hold really well, and then this 2-minute order block hold very well right here, and just everything about this was a nice internal market maker buy model that I unfortunately missed out on because of being really kind of stuck in a mental block, right? A mental block of, being caught up in the wrong things, getting caught up in the wrong ideas, and just being tunnel vision on the Asia lows, which this just looks so juicy to take a trade to, and it just kind of made me have tunnel vision, and it didn't really get to see the clear picture. This still was the best trade of the day, and this was still good opportunities in here, but this is a lot more tricky. This is a lot more advanced because of, again, how tricky this price action was. But we actually did have a very clean run up here, right? We had this 1-minute gap that we held. We had this 1-minute inversion. This was the key to flipping bullish, right? Especially when we come back down, hold this strong. The reason why this is the key, we'll mark out this order block. The reason why this is the key right here is because this is the fair value gap that swept this low right here. We had this leg down and we made a fair value gap. If we were bearish, we would stick to this gap and we'd respect it and we'd go lower, right? Or at worst case scenario, we'd respect this gap. We do not respect this gap. We retrade into this order block. We start getting displacement higher. We run through this gap right here. We inverse on this candle. We trade back down to this order block right here. We trade higher. We make another order block. We trade to it, and we take off from there. That was really the rest of so far. That was the bullish leg. Definitely can learn a lot from that. We'll definitely take time to journal that later in my Notion. And yeah, figure out. Well, not even figure out, but this was, again, a mistake because of the previous mistakes or the previous frustrations. And it's so hard when you're trading and you're thinking emotionally and you're upset. It is so hard to read the market clearly because all you're looking for is what you want to see, not what the market's telling you it wants to do. The market will tell you, right? Nothing here told me it was going to be bearish, right? Nothing here told me it was flipping bearish. Maybe this right here. But then when I had this reaction at this low, right, nothing told me bearish. Everything told me bullish after we hit this low, after we swept 930 open in a gap. Look at that, perfect respecting the 5-minute consequent encroachment. Does not close below on the 1-minute. Inversion of this gap here. Retest into the fair value gap, into the inversion. Trades higher, makes an order block. Trades back down to the order block, respects it well. Trades higher, a little bit of chop. Trades higher again, comes back down to the order block one more time, turtle soups these lows, and then inverses this move again, and then makes its final run to the draw and liquidity. Very, very clean day, right? A very, very clean day. Tricky day. By no means was this easy, but a very good day, right? This was a clean day of price. Tricky. Why was it tricky? Well, because we just had SMTs everywhere. We had an SMT here. We had an SMT here early, which caused us to go up. We had an SMT again. We sold off. We swept the low. We reversed. We had another SMT that caused price to go down. We turtle souped. Let me see if we had SMT there. Let's see if we took it. No, we did not. I remember we didn't actually. But it was just that's a tricky day, man, especially with this type of price where it's not really, really quick in either direction. You have a lot of tails on the candles. Tricky day. I should have done better. I didn't. Again, day done should have been right here. I should have got in on this move and finished my day great, but we didn't. And it doesn't matter because it's not going to affect Monday. It's not going to affect Tuesday. It's not going to affect any day after this, right? It's not going to affect me 10 minutes from now, right? And that's what I'm trying to really grow in 2025. I'll make mistakes. Today I made a mistake by not hesitating and not getting in, and then I made that mistake. I don't have goals in 2025 to be perfect. I don't have goals. I'll never make mistakes. I'm not going to worry about making mistakes. I'm not going to worry about, doing the wrong thing. Because when you're just focused about not making mistakes, you're going to make a lot more. Trust me. Just focus on trying to get better. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to focus on getting better. And being more aware. And when I make mistakes, try and limit them and try and catch them early and don't let them make more mistakes, right? You make a mistake, don't let it make you make more mistakes. Don't let it ruin the day. Don't let it blow your account. That's where I'm really trying to change from, is just where I don't let it destroy me. And today was close, right? If I didn't lock my account out, today was close because I had all of those emotions that I've had before where I blow my account. I had those same emotions, but I was able to just say, you know what, let's call it here at $8, right? Not the end of the world by any means. And let's just see what we can do on another day. Give up on that $50 rebill, right? It's going to have to happen unless we have a great day Monday and Tuesday. But we don't want to put pressure on ourselves. You don't want to set these expectations. Just let the market tell you what it wants to do, because it will, right? It did today. It told us it wanted to go short here. It told us it wanted to go long here. And you have to listen. You can't force your ideas, because when I start forcing Asia low through here, right, we're just playing the wrong side of the market. We're simply just playing the wrong side of the market. And that is what it is, man. Frustrating for sure. Disappointed for sure. But it's just another day. It's just another day. It's no different than any other day. There's no reason to think that 2025 was just going to be all sunshine and rainbows from day one, from day two. Look, this is a good day, man. We learned a lot. We realized, just don't be hesitant. I should have just came in with, I need to come in with a mindset that says, hey, look, 1 trade, 2 trades max. I come in, I see a setup, and cool, we take the trade. If we lose, we lose. We come back tomorrow. Because look, this trade won, right? This trade won. So for however many of these trades that win, we get a few that lose, right? It's just gonna happen, right? This trade could have been the one that lost. Okay, cool. We're down a little bit. But you don't know which one's gonna win, so don't hesitate when you see your setup. Don't hesitate when you see the right thing, and that's what I need to do better. The hesitation, I haven't hesitated on trades until I've gotten closer to passing my account. I think that's normal, but I have to, improve, right? That's where it's good that I can practice on a evaluation account, because it gets me to practice these emotions, right? If I'm on paper and if I was just trading on paper still, right? I wouldn't be able to practice those emotions, because that's trading. Trading is emotions. Trading, that's all it is. That's all how the market moves. It's just human emotions. Robots aren't just throwing money back and forth at each other. This is real human beings trading a market. Real human beings said, "Oh my gosh, I'm trying to sell my position," and that's why we come down, right? As much there might be an algorithm that runs intraday stuff, but the market's moved by real people's money, right? It's not it's not the iRobot going in and saying he wants to invest in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. He's not throwing in fake money. These are real human beings that are really trading real money, and the markets move on emotion. So don't worry if you're struggling with emotion, because that's the whole point, right? You have to just learn. You have to be desensitized, right? It's just like anything else. If you're a little kid and you grow up watching, bad movies or like action movies, right? You're gonna be a lot more desensitized to action and violence than a kid that wasn't allowed to watch that stuff, right? It's just how it goes. Your mind gets desensitized to things, and I'm having to just desensitize myself to losing trades, to being wrong, to losing money, right? I'm having to just learn how to desensitize myself to that, because it's human emotions. This is supposed to happen. If you come into the trading and you're not scared about losing money, then there's probably something a little bit, more, maybe you're more adventurous, It's a normal human emotion to be emotional and to be nervous and whatever. You're supposed to feel those things. Just know that you're supposed to feel those things and learn how to improve on them. So I'm not mad at myself. I'm not disappointed in myself. I'm frustrated with the day. I'm frustrated with right now, but I'm not mad at myself. And I know I'm getting better, and I know I'm doing the right thing. So yeah, I will see you guys Monday. It's been a great end to the week. Appreciate all you guys for watching the videos. And yeah, let me know how your week went. How many days did you trade this week? What are your goals for this new year? It's going to be a great year. I can already feel it. So let me know, and I'll see you guys Monday. Peace.